It's officially game day again here in San Diego for SDFC. It's our second home match going up against Columbus Crew tonight. Super excited to go to the game. Figured I'd take you along with me this time, kind of like a vlog style. Show you what the experience is like getting to the stadium, at the stadium, what the concessions and everything look like, and then hopefully see a really fun and exciting game. And hopefully we can bag our first home win today with SDFC. Let's go. Okay, so we just got to the trolley station. Something I really like about getting into Snapdragon is it's really easy to get into. Obviously you can always go and park at it, but the cheapest option is just to park in a lot like this for free and then travel via the trolley. It's only like 3 or 4 stops from the stop that we've been going to. And again, make it really easy, and it's actually kind of fun, especially for the kids. They like riding the trolley.
Ocean Beach Drive, love that West Coast sunset sky, over the waves that you can ride here in San Diego. Love my San Diego.
So we made it into the stadium. It's super loud, and already right off the bat you can tell there's a lot less people here. You can tell just from the parking lot actually, it's a lot just less cars. They did not look full at all. And we actually got to the stadium later this time than we did last time. So I'm assuming that this game just doesn't have as much interest as the, the inaugural home match. The walking around the stadium is something we actually didn't really do at the home opener. We have walked around the stadium before at preseason things, but this is our first time actually walking around during a match day, and it's actually a lot of fun. Obviously there's lots of people, but all of the concessions are open, and there's just concessions everywhere. There's actually 2 different merch stores for SDFC. They're on both the north and south sides of the field. Both of them look a little bit different, but they are both really cool. There's actually some pretty long lines to get into them too, so I'm sure they're making a lot of money on that. Otherwise here, I really like the north side of the field just because there's some big areas where you have like food trucks, concessions, and then lots of different tables where you can sit down and eat. They do still have screens where you can actually watch the game if you want to do that like mid-game, which is really nice. And then I did run into one of the parent rooms, which is something that I'm planning on checking out. Basically, they have quiet and sensory-friendly rooms where you can go if you want to get out of the loud, or obviously if you need to nurse, or if you have toddlers like I do and you just need to get away from the stadium environment. That is something I absolutely want to check out. So I think we're going to win this game. I'm hoping so. And I think that we have to get our first home goal this time because we didn't score a goal at our last home opener. But I feel like it's going to be a close game. But I also think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So my guess is going to be 3-2 to San Diego. What's your guess?
I'm going to say 2 to San Diego.
What about Columbus?
0.
I like what you think. So the team is warming up now. It got really cold and it's starting to get dark. It was definitely brighter today than it was last time we were here, I guess because of daylight savings, so that is nice. But luckily the supporters section for Columbus is not in the sun anymore. It's going to be pretty brutal up there, I think, if there's ever a sunlight or like a midday game as opposed to an evening one. I know there are some coming up, so hopefully it's not too bad up in those 300, 200 sections. And I don't know if I really explained about the discriminatory chant. So they put a plan out in place a couple of days ago before the match started where they were going to have these flyers in every cup holder, which is definitely true. They also have guys standing around with signs that say not here, so they're not going to be letting anyone do the chant. If they do, they have increased security to actually throw people out of the game if they find anyone doing it. And then before the match even starts, they're going to have Tom Penn, the CEO of SDFC, Mikey Varas, the coach, and then also Anibal Godoy, one of the players, come out on field and address the audience saying that they're not going to tolerate the chant. So it does seem like they have a pretty good plan in place to prevent it from coming back in the future. The last part of their plan for the discriminatory chant is they also have the FIFA 3-step rule in place, which basically just means strike 1, they're going to stop the game. Strike 2, they're going to suspend the game, which I think just means they pause for like 15 or so minutes. And then strike 3, if the chant keeps happening after that, they abandon the match, which is when SDFC would be forced to forfeit the game. And if they end up having to forfeit, that would be a 3-0 loss for SDFC, which would be really, really bad. So I hope the chant doesn't happen at all, but if it does happen, hopefully it gets squashed pretty quickly. I will also say that the supporters section on the other end of the field has been going absolutely crazy for hours before the game even started, and they're only getting louder, so I'm excited to see their energy because they definitely hyped me up last game.
It never has. It moves, it builds, it fights.
There's so much smoke, you can't see anything.
Points in a 13-minute play.
That was quiet the whole game!
Yeah. There they go. That was way too close. So it's halftime now. My mouth is blue because we got done giggling. Unfortunately, Columbus Crew did score and really brought the energy down in the stadium. We did actually have some pretty close calls, and then right kind of towards the end of the half, did score, but it was disallowed. Really big bummer there, but it did give me hope that we were going to bring it back in the second half. Oh, shoot! Oh!
Y nuestros estados no será tolerado. Favor abstenerse de seguir utilizando lenguaje y gritos discriminatorios.
San Diego.
And that's full time. So the game ended at 1-1, and man, the second half was super exciting. I feel like the first half we didn't really play as good as we have been playing. We were kind of on our heels the whole time, so I think that's part of the reason, probably most of the reason why we conceded in the first half is just because we weren't really playing as offensively or doing the same type of risky passes or long passes like we have done in previous games and like we did in the second half. So yeah, it really did suck when they scored. However, we did really bring it back in the second half. It was way more exciting to watch. Columbus was definitely on their heels a lot more in the second half because San Diego was just going forward and playing really aggressively, which obviously worked out because we did end up scoring. There were some really big close calls, really big misses. There was actually a red card for Columbus Crew because one of their players ended up basically knocking Dreyer over and denying a goal scoring opportunity. So he got sent off, and then San Diego took advantage of that. They really went full force afterwards, and it paid off because even though we had a disallowed goal, we ended up getting one, and it was absolutely great. Everyone was super stoked. My voice is hoarse now because I did so much screaming from that goal and just for the entirety of the second half. It was a super exciting game, especially for the back half of it. So now what we're doing is just sitting here right by the trolley station. I don't know what happened because we waited in the stadium for a pretty long time. And even though we waited, I think, longer than we did last time, there's still a whole lot of people here waiting to get onto the trolley. So we're just gonna wait because we don't want to be up in the lines like that, and we have two sleeping kiddos that we're trying to hold on to, so it's a lot of hard work. And man, it really did feel like we were gonna win there at the end. We were playing so aggressively, we had so many close calls. It was basically all San Diego possession and shots at the very end of the game. Columbus was doing a lot of time wasting, and the keeper ended up getting carded for it, so you could tell that they were kind of trying to at least keep it as a draw, and they weren't playing aggressively at all just because San Diego was playing so aggressively. They were just trying to keep it as a tie. So now we're just gonna wait here for a little bit until the crowds die down, hop on the trolley, and then it's a pretty short ride home, which is nice. We're definitely pretty tired, but it was a very fun game day.